Can the Astros hold on to the number 1 spot for a 3rd week in a row? And have the Angels fallen all the way down to number 30? We'll get into it in just a second, right after this. What is up, YouTube? It is your boy NMR Sports here, coming back at you with another MLB video. And today we're going over my MLB power rankings for the second half of the season. These power rankings are being recorded on July 25th, so keep that in mind if you're watching this at a later date. These are as of July 25th. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like the video, help it reach more baseball fans, and let me know in the comments, did I get your team right? Did I have them too low? Did I have them too high? You guys have been pretty vocal, and I love talking baseball with you guys in the comments, so it's always a good time. And don't forget to subscribe for more daily MLB content. We should have Good Morning Baseball coming back at you in just a second. My buddy Frank is in the process of moving, so once he gets all settled, we'll be back with that. And don't forget to sign up at Thrive Fantasy using my promo code NMR. The details are in the description. If you deposit $10, you get $60 worth of free bets. They'll match your deposit, give you an extra 10 bucks, and you'll get 2 $20 contest entries. All the details are in the description. Check it out. It's a great way to make some money on sports. And without further ado, let's get into the video, start talking about this week's MLB Power Rankings. Okay, starting off with number 30, we've got the Washington Nationals on a really rough stretch right now, 2-8 in their last 10. They just have not been a very good baseball team, and they're in the process of trying to trade Juan Soto, so it's just a mess over in Washington, D.C. right now. Just above them, another team that is an absolute train wreck, my very own favorite team, the Los Angeles Angels. Honestly, I feel like I've been being way too generous to them, and I try to keep my bias out of this, but this is where they're playing right now. I think the A's are 6-4 in their last 10. They gave the Astros some trouble. I legitimately think the A's could win a series, if not sweep the Angels right now. Pretty much every team in baseball, other than the Washington Nationals, I am confident could absolutely destroy the Angels. So Angels at 29, just above them, the Oakland A's. They've had a pretty good week, actually. 6-4 in their last 10. Like I said, they gave the Astros some trouble. They've been hitting a little bit better. Paul Blackburn has been fantastic. Same thing with Frankie Montas. He has had some injury concerns, but outside of that, they've been winning some games. So good for the A's. Got them at number 28. Just above them, a struggling squad right now. The Detroit Tigers have been very rough as of late. They just haven't been able to win baseball games, man. They can't put the ball in play. They can't score runs. Their pitching's still been pretty decent, and they got some good pieces to trade away at the trade deadline. But overall, 27th best team in baseball. Just above them, I think this is the highest I've had the Pirates all year. That is number 26, and the Pirates, man. O'Neal Cruz. So fun to watch. I'm having so much fun watching O'Neal Cruz bat. He had a home run off Sandy Alcantara yesterday, which is just amazing. That dude's going to be special. I love Brian Hayes. I'm really sad they traded Daniel Vogelball away. I love watching that guy too. But they've got a decent future going for them over there in Pittsburgh. Hopefully they start spending some money this offseason to try to, be a little bit competitive. I could see them being competitive in like 2024 though. All right, next up at number 25, we got the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks, what is there to say? They're just not a very good baseball team. They got a couple of good players, like I said, but they're pretty boring too. I really don't have a lot to say about the Diamondbacks. I know I have one Diamondbacks fan who watches this, so I'm sorry, Zach, but they're just kind of a boring team. Don't have a lot to say. The Cubs coming off of a sweep of the Philadelphia Phillies. They are hitting the ball pretty well, and their pitching's been a little bit better as of late. I still don't think they're a good team, but 24 feels like a good spot for them. Just above them, the Kansas City Royals, man. That young talent is finally starting to come together. Bobby Witt Jr.'s on a tear. And honestly, I don't think their bullpen's too bad either. It's really just been their starting rotation that's weighing them down right now. So the Kansas City Royals, I can see being competitive pretty soon as well. Similarly to what we talked about with the Pirates, I think they have a little bit better of a rebuild going, though. So I got them a little bit higher than the Pittsburgh Pirates. Just above them, the Texas Rangers, man. They are falling apart. That pitching staff is atrocious, like we all knew it would be. The offense is still good, but hopefully they got a lot of good young arms in their farm system that they'll come up and hopefully be better in the coming years. But right now, pretty much every team on this list right here is fully cooked and has no chance at making a postseason run. That's kind of where I got the Rangers at. They had a pretty good run for a bit, and they still can hit, like I said, but that pitching staff is not going to get it done. Just above them, the Cincinnati Reds, man. A little round of applause there. They've been giving some teams some trouble lately. They're hitting the ball hard. Their offense is soaring. Their starting pitching still a little bit of a struggle outside of Luis Castillo, but overall, I really like the Cincinnati Reds. They've kind of turned it around after having one of the worst starts in MLB history. All right, next at number 20, we've got the Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies, they're actually 5-5 in their last 10, but they are on a 4-game losing streak coming out of the All-Star break, so they kind of got to get it together. I don't expect them to be competitive, but they are a pretty good team offensively, which it feels like most Rockies teams are. They just got to figure out that pitching staff somehow. Hopefully they do it in the near future, but I don't really see that happening. Just above them, I'm sorry. This is the most disrespectful I've been to any team this year. I had the Red Sox, I think I had them at 6 last week. but I have never witnessed such an implosion in my entire life as the Boston Red Sox have had in the last week or so. They got blown out by the Yankees. They got blown out by the Yankees again. They lost 28-5 to the Toronto Blue Jays. And then they lost, like, what? I think it was 4-1 and then 8-4. They just can't. They suck. Oh, my God, they suck right now. Like, this is... how could I put them any higher than this? How could I put them any higher than this at this week? They just lost Chris Sale, which isn't their fault, but it sucks. Like, it's a huge blow to them. They just have no pitching whatsoever. They have no pitching whatsoever. They brought up Brian Bello or whatever his name is. That guy has been really rough. I'm sure he's going to be good eventually, but he is not ready for the major leagues right now. It's pretty clear with that. Same thing with Jeter Downs. Just overall, man, I don't see... I know they're injured. I'm not saying they're a bad team when they're fully healthy. I'm just saying right now, this team is... I don't know what's wrong with them. They had one of the worst starts in baseball, then they were the hottest team in baseball for a while, and now they're back to being one of the worst teams in baseball. I don't know what's wrong with the Boston Red Sox. I know it's mostly injury related, but man, they're tough to watch right now. They're getting destroyed every game. Just above them, we got the Miami Marlins. They dropped pretty significantly as well. I'm not a fan of their bullpen, and I'm still not a fan of their lineup, even though they did call up top prospect J.J. Bleday, which is pretty nice. But overall, that lineup still is not very good. They strike out a ton. They don't hit for power. They don't put the ball in play too often. They're just not a very good baseball team when it comes to offense. Hopefully, they make some moves at the trade deadline because I think their starting rotation is good enough to contend if they can figure out some good bullpen arms as well as a couple of big bats. Just above them, we got the San Francisco Giants, a very disappointing team for me right now. I had them in the World Series in my preseason predictions, so hopefully they can get it together. I still think they're a good team at their core. It's going to be interesting to see if they are buyers or sellers at the trade deadline. I might actually have a video coming out talking about that very topic coming up soon. Just above them, the Cleveland Guardians, man. 6-4 in their last 10. They have been killing it as of late. I don't know when the wheels are going to fall off on this team. I really don't. They're still hanging in there. That AL Central is wide open as we've known all season. And they just keep fighting. I don't know, man. We'll have to see what happens with them. But right now, I got them at the 16th best team in baseball, right around that fringe buy or sell category as well. All right, next up, we've got the San Diego Padres sneaking into the top 15. I still think they're a pretty good ball club, but they're really missing Tatis right about now. Manny Machado's a stud, and the offense is a little bit weak at the moment. I think they are going to have some problems until Tatis comes back. When Tatis comes back, I could see them being a playoff team. And with AJ Preller's history, you know he's going to be active at the trade deadline. So we'll see. I still consider them a fringe wild card team, but when Tatis comes back, that's going to be a huge addition. Hopefully he's back soon. I know he just started his hitting program. Just above them, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals. They've been hitting pretty well as well. Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado aren't going to make the trip to Toronto, so that's going to be a bit of a blow to them. I think they only got a 2 or 3 game series over there, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal, but overall, they've been hitting like crazy. Their pitching has been above what we expected at least, and then Ryan Helsey, man, just a dominant closer. Absolutely love him in the back end of that bullpen. Just above them, the Philadelphia Phillies just got swept by the Cubs, so they're having a rough second half to start in the first couple of games, but they had a very good end of the first half, so overall, I think they're still a pretty good team. Got them at the 13th spot. Just above them, the Baltimore Orioles, man, still impressed with this team. I think, I don't think they're a playoff team this year, but I do think they have the brightest future in all of baseball, and I'm not really afraid to say that. Maybe them or the Dodgers, I guess, would have the brightest future. But right now, the Baltimore Orioles, man, they have been winning games. They just find a way to win. They got a very good bullpen. Their starting pitching is a massive hole right now, and that's why I don't think they'll be able to contend. But still a very good team, in my opinion. Just above them, finally, the Chicago White Sox are competing again. 7-3 in their last 10. They are hitting the ball well. Dylan Cease is the biggest all-star snub I've seen in my lifetime. And the team is just good. The team is finally starting to play well. They got Eloy Jimenez back, so that was a huge addition to them. Just overall, they're a good team. It's finally time for them to start winning baseball games because they're a good team. The bullpen's been a little bit better. The rotation's getting a little bit better. They still have some guys underperforming like Lucas Giolito as well as Lance Lynn, but I still think they could be a playoff team and easily win the AL Central if they play even like 2/3 of how good they are. All right, let's check out the top 10 and see what we've got. Coming in at number 10, we've got the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, before we talk about my top 10, I just want to say number 6 through 10, I don't know. I do not know. I stared at these for an hour and just, I don't know. It's literally 6A, B, C, D, E. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Rays, the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Twins, and then my number 6 team, I'll do a little spoiler alert, it's the Milwaukee Brewers. I don't know who's the best team out of them. I really don't know. They're all good. None of them are, top 5 worthy. None of them felt like they should be at number 6. None of them felt like they should have been at number 10. So this is what I went with. Just a little precursor there. We got the Rays at number 10. The Rays just find a way to win, man. They are so good at winning games. They can win games 2-0. They can win games 10-8. Their offense is pretty rough and they're injured, but they find a way to win, man. I'm very impressed with what the Rays are doing right now. Rays at number 10. Just above them, the Toronto Blue Jays, man. The biggest winning streak in the American League right now. 6-game winning streak. They absolutely dominated the Boston Red Sox, and they just are on a hot streak. Like I said, time and time again, they're one of the streakiest teams in baseball. They're on a hot streak right now, so I gotta have them inside the top 10. Just above them, the Seattle Mariners. We're on a 13-game winning streak, I think, going into the All-Star break. They just got swept by the Astros, which is unfortunate, but still a very good baseball team, so I had to have them inside the top 10 as well. Just above them, I got the Minnesota Twins. I think the Minnesota Twins are a slightly better baseball team than the Seattle Mariners, but it's very close, like I said, between all of these teams. On paper, I think out of these 4, the Toronto Blue Jays are the best. Playing-wise, this season, I feel like the Twins have been the best, so that's kind of where I went with my rankings. Like I said, this was a really, really, really tough stretch to rank, and that's where I ended up with. Let me know if you agree in the comments. Let's get into the top 6. Okay, and like I already said, number 6 is going to be the Milwaukee Brewers. I think their pitching is just so damn dominant that I had to put them slightly above all these other teams. I think out of the 6 through 10, the best unit as a whole is the Brewers pitching staff, so I had to put them at number 6. Like I said, 6A, 6B, 6C, 6D, 6E. Basically, that's what I got from 6 through number 10. Just above them, the New York Mets, and I got to talk about the Braves and the Mets when I'm talking about these teams. They're so close. They are so close to each other. I gave the slight edge to the Braves because I think they have a better young core. I think Ronald Acuna Jr. is the best player on either team. I think that Michael Harris is a huge part of that team. Spencer Strider's a stud. Max Fried is a stud. They've got a really, really, really good team out there in Atlanta. And the hottest player in baseball right now is Austin Riley. He's just on a tear. Matt Olson's great. Dansby Swanson's great. The whole team is just hitting. They had 2 all-star catchers. Like, I cannot stress this enough how good the Braves are. Just below them, I got the Mets. The Mets are a very good team. I don't think they're going to win the NL East. I'll be completely honest. I'll just be flat out with it. I don't think the Mets are going to win the NL East. I'm sorry to Mets fans out there. When they get to Grom back, that would be very helpful. He's starting to throw. He's starting to pitch in simulated games and minor league rehab starts. But I don't know. I'm scared of the Mets in the playoffs. I'm not scared of the Mets in the regular season. I think the regular season Mets are going to sneak in a wild card, but I don't think they're definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with in the postseason. Let me just be clear on that. If you got Scherzer and DeGrom, that's going to be a nasty 1-2 punch come October. But for now, I got the Mets at 5 and the Braves at 4. Okay, and coming in at number 3, we've got the New York Yankees, and this is 100%, 150% where the Yankees belong. Debate a wall. This is where the Yankees belong. They are the 3rd best team in baseball right now. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but you're incorrect. They just got mollywopped by the Astros. The Astros are their father. The Astros are their literal daddy, and the Dodgers are 9-1. Sorry to spoil my top 2 picks, but I'm sorry. I know they have the best record in baseball, but they are not the best team in baseball right now. Debate a wall if you disagree with me. Put it in the comments. I'm willing to have a conversation about it, but this is where the Yankees belong. Number 3, probably my most confident pick on the entire power rankings, 1 through 30, is the Yankees at number 3. And then there were 2. Let's do a slow reveal. I'm sorry to disappoint you Dodgers fans, but number 2 is nothing to scoff at. The Los Angeles Dodgers are a great baseball team. 9-1 in their last 10. They've been on fire. They are finally starting to be that unbeatable force that everyone thought they would be. Their entire starting rotation has been nasty. The lineup is starting to all hit at once. You know, when Mookie has an 0-for-4 game, Trey Turner goes 3-for-4. When Trey Turner goes 0-for, Freddie Freeman has a great game. When Freeman has a bad game, Mookie has a good game. That top 3 is just the nastiest in baseball. Outside of that, I don't even know. You know, Max Muncy has good days every now and then. He struggled a little bit. Cody Bellinger struggled a little bit, I know, but overall that lineup is just a run-producing machine, and their pitching staff is one of the best in all of baseball. Probably the most complete team in baseball, and I think they will find themselves at number 1 very soon. But, as we all know, there's only one team remaining, and that is the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros, man, what more is there to say? They own the team with the best record in baseball, the New York Yankees. They're the best team in baseball right now. Yordan Alvarez is the best hitter in all of baseball. You can debate a wall with that as well. Aaron Judge is fantastic. Aaron Judge is probably the best power hitter in baseball, but as a pure hitter goes, Yordan Alvarez is the best hitter in baseball right now. Overall, their pitching staff is slightly better than the Yankees, and I think it's a little more consistent than the Dodgers, mainly because it's been able to stay healthy outside of, you know, Jake Odorizzi, who I think should get DFA'd, and Lance McCullers Jr., who hasn't been pitching all season. But man, Justin Verlander, dominant. Framber Valdez, dominant. Christian Javier, dominant. Just overall, this whole rotation's great. Their bullpen's great, and their lineup is fantastic as well. So the Houston Astros stay at number 1 in my power rankings. Let's take one last look at numbers 1 through 30 again. Here we have numbers 11 through 30 with the White Sox just outside of the top 10, and my Angels falling all the way down to 29. And the top 10, Astros stay at number 1, Rays sneak into the top 10. Okay, well that is going to do it for us today on this week's power rankings. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if I got your team correct, if I had them too high, if I had them too low, or if I had them spot on. Don't forget to leave a like, help this reach more baseball fans, and subscribe for more daily MLB content. Our goal is 5,000 subs by the end of the baseball season. It's a lofty goal, but I think we can reach it. I appreciate the support. You guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks again for watching.